Hi everyone, good evening. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Zuleika. I am a member of the Wisconsin Association for College Admissions Counseling, and I'll be facilitating this session tonight with Mount Mary. Just a couple quick housekeeping announcements before we get started. If you've got questions over the course of the presentation, please use the Q&A box to ask those. And then the presenters will see those and will answer those during the presentation. So that'll be your way to communicate with the presenters. Your camera and your microphone are off, so we cannot see you, we cannot hear you. Again, the only way we can interact and know what questions you have is if you use that Q&A box. So please ask any questions over the course of the presentation. Presenters are very, very happy to answer those. There's a few more days left of sessions. So if you are interested in attending more sessions, you can go online, see who's presenting in the next couple of days, and sign up for some additional sessions. And the recording of this session and every session that's going to be hosted over virtual College Exploration Week are going to be available on the WACAC website. And I think probably next week, hopefully once we wrap everything up, get the recordings all uploaded. But if they're going to watch this presentation again or any other presentation, those will be available online. I'm going to turn it over to our presenters. So I'm going to end my screen share here. I will disappear for a little bit, and you all are going to be in good hands to learn a little bit more about Mount Mary.
All right, thank you. So I'll share my screen with you all here. All right, hopefully you all can see that. So first of all, welcome. Thanks for being with us tonight. Today we're gonna talk to you a little bit about Mount Mary and just give you some great information about the university. My name is Madison. I am an admission counselor with Mount Mary, and my colleague Kayla is also here to talk to you all. So let's just go ahead and get started. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what we're going to cover today. So we're going to talk a little bit more about Mount Mary in general, really introduce you to our university, and talk about a few things that make us unique. We're also going to discuss majors and academic programs that we have at Mount Mary. We'll also talk about student support services and just different ways that we are academically and socially supporting our students on campus. We'll talk about campus life, scholarships, and then of course, how to apply.
One of the first things that we really wanted to go over was what makes Mount Mary unique. So Mount Mary, we have small class sizes, we're all women, and there's so many important key factors in that. When it comes to the fact that we are a smaller class size, you're really going to get to know your professors. They live, eat, and breathe the stuff that they teach. So when it comes to internship opportunities or building up that resume or even networking, they're going to know the people that you need to meet because they're in this field already. So you're already building up that network to not only grow academically, but as a professional as well. And you're not just going to learn from your professors. We have such a diverse university here. So you're also going to be learning from your other classmates. We have people from all different states, different countries, different economic backgrounds, different education levels, all really just coming here to grow, and they're contributing to those conversations. So it really gives you kind of an interesting opportunity to just learn from all the people around you just based off our population. And in that, we are all women's. So what that means, if you want to go to the next slide, Madison. Perfect, thank you. What being all women's means is that you're instantly in this really sisterhood or a community that is consistently supporting each other. You know, we're getting excited when a classmate is doing really well, whether it comes to athletics or even academically. We're just really all there for each other, and you can really foster and really grow within those leadership positions. You will be doing group work here, and in each group everyone has a different role, and you can kind of switch that up based on the academics. So you're really able to just learn about yourself in a different type of setting because we are all women's here at Mount Mary.
So next I wanted to talk a little bit about the different majors and academic programs that we have at Mount Mary. So we have over 30 majors at Mount Mary, and they are all broken up into these 4 different schools. So first we have the School of Arts and Design. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about this school because it's so unique and so important to the overall just community at Mount Mary. So this school houses majors such as fashion design, fashion merchandising, graphic design, art therapy, studio art. And I think what's really unique about this school is because we are small, students who are coming for art and design majors, they're really going to get that individual attention within these majors. And so they're really going to have that opportunity to grow their craft, to really grow themselves personally, which, you know, of course, translates into that art and into that design. We also have this really great program at Mount Mary called the CREO Arts and Design Show. And what it really is students get to exhibit their work that they've done all year. It happens every spring on our campus. And it all culminates in a big fashion show where the fashion students get to show their work. And it's just so cool and professional and amazing. So that's definitely a unique feature about that school in particular. Next, we have our School of Natural and Health Sciences and Education. So this, of course, houses our education and early childhood education majors, but also our sciences. And then we have the School of Humanities, Social Studies, and Interdisciplinary Studies. So of course, this has our social studies majors such as justice, which has a concentration in criminal justice, history, English and communication, and sociology. Then we have our small but mighty School of Business, which has our business and accounting degrees. We also have some really unique minors within this school. So entrepreneurship, for example, which is just a really great minor for any major to have. So business touches a lot of our majors as well. Then there is one major that is not really included in those 4 schools because it is so unique, and that is our major for undecided students. So this major is really important because if you look at students, college students across the country, the most popular major that they come into college with is actually undecided. And so I think it's really important to recognize these students, and Mount Mary does a great job of that. So if you are a student who is undecided in your major, or perhaps you're multi-interested and you want to do a lot of different things, you might want to begin your college career as an undecided student, and Mount Mary welcomes that. So if you are accepted to Mount Mary and come in as undecided, you would begin something called the Compass Year program. And what this is a year-long program where students who are undecided come together as a cohort and take some classes together. They do career exploration and they work with career development professionals to really just have that time to explore different majors. They explore a lot about themselves, so they take like personality tests and things like that. So you can really kind of have just this chance to explore your options and see what might be a good fit for you. While you're taking the time to explore, you're also taking some of your core classes. So you're doing those general education courses. And so the important part about that is you're not wasting any time or money by being undecided. You're actually progressing towards your degree by just doing those gen ed classes, maybe taking an introductory class here or there to dip your toes into a major. And hopefully by the end of this year, students will feel like they can make a confident decision about their major. So that's really the end goal, is to make sure that they have that confidence going into the rest of their 3 years at Mount Mary.
And when you're doing either the Compass Year or you're in the nursing program or you're headed deep in the art programs. We want to make sure that you are successful here. So we do have a few different things that we offer our students. At the Student Success Center, we have a whole bunch of things. We have a career development. So if you're not quite sure what you want to do, but you have all these ideas, kind of like that compass here, you have somebody else to kind of talk to and work some things out with. We also do have academic advising. You're not just going to be signing up for classes and hoping that they work out. We're going to put you on a track to make sure you're taking all the classes that you want to take and need to take to be successful and graduate here within 4 years. And within those classes, some of them are definitely going to be a little bit tough, but that's why we've hired tutors. These tutors are there to help you with pretty much anything that has to do with that class to really help you continue to succeed. My favorite though within the tutoring is the writing center. You're going to come in and professors are going to say, hey, you need to write in APA format, or you're going to have to write in MLA or Chicago. And all of a sudden you have no idea what format is what and what's supposed to be happening. But our writing tutors are there to help you. They can help you with the formatting, which is going to be huge within college. But they'll also be able to review what you wrote and saying, hey, this sounded really good, or hey, this sounded a little bit off, to really help you grow as a writer, because you are going to continue to develop skills over these next few years. We also have a mental health counselor for you on hand. So what that means is if you are fighting with your roommate, or you're kind of dealing with something that you want to talk to somebody about, we have those there. You can set up one meeting, you can set up a reoccurring meeting, and it's completely up to you, and these are just for you as a student. The cool thing, in addition to all of that actually, is that you're able to use these services for an entire year after you graduate. So let's say you don't know how to write a resume, or you need help with a cover letter, you can come back and use the Career Development Center. You can talk with a writing tutor and use those skills afterwards. That way you're continuing to get the support that you need here at Mount Mary, even after you graduate. In addition to all of that, we do have the Promise program, which is for first generation students, and they just have an additional kind of help if they need it. So there's more tutoring, there's graduate degree planning. So if they're thinking of continuing on with their education, there's also peer mentoring. So you'd be connected with a student here on campus who's really kind of flourished here, and they can help you navigate kind of those first few years and first few semesters of you kind of figuring it out here on campus. So it's just a few ways that we're able to just support you academically.
So I want to talk a little bit about campus life and kind of what it's like to live on campus at Mount Mary and be a student here. If you haven't been to our campus before, I encourage you to definitely visit. But I can tell you a little bit about what it looks like. So we have this great picture here with at the front of campus with the big bell tower, which is kind of the signature of Mount Mary. Our campus is in a suburban location. So it's in this great residential area that's nestled between Milwaukee and the city of Wauwatosa. So it's really just a great neighborhood for our students to live in, but also there is access to the city, which is great too. On campus, we do have free parking and access to public transportation. This is nice because a lot of our students have jobs and internships that they want to take part in. And so they're able to get around the city with that access to public transportation. Because our campus is in this really nice residential neighborhood, it is extremely safe. And statistically, all women's campuses are safer than co-ed, but we do have that 24/7 campus security and our emergency alert system to let students know what's going on and if there are any emergencies happening on campus. We just want everyone to feel totally safe and secure. So as far as what there is to do on campus, around our campus we have a lot of restaurants and entertainment. There's the big Mayfair shopping center, which is awesome. And really there is that access to city life. So even though we're not right downtown, students still have access to the entertainment, culture, and everything that the city has to offer. If students do want to live on campus, they would live in Caroline Hall, which is our big dorm on campus for undergraduate students. and they have the option to live there all 4 years, which many students do just because they really find a great home at Mount Mary and they feel really just welcomed and safe here. Of course, it is not required to live on campus. So students that live, right in the neighborhood or nearby can definitely commute to campus. And many of our students do choose that option. There's also just a lot going on campus with our students and their different activities. So one thing I like to say is that the vibe of Mount Mary's campus is that students are just so busy. They are involved in so many things. They're always running around, doing so much during the day. It's very impressive. So a lot of those students are involved in our clubs and organizations, which are completely student run. Students really take a lot of ownership over those. And there's a wide variety of stuff for students to participate in, whether it's like a more professional networking club, or it's just something, a club that's just purely for fun, like our dance association that you can see in the picture here, where students just get together and dance and perform, and it's just a way to have fun. Then we have our NCAA Division III athletics. So a lot of students do come to Mount Mary to be a part of our sports teams, and it's a great way to kind of find your niche on campus. So if you have a student, or you are a student that is participating in athletics currently, Mount Mary might be a great place for you to continue to play. Also, one thing that's kind of unique about Mount Mary is that a lot of students study abroad. Actually, 1 in 5 do, which is way above the national average. So I think it's something that our students really care about. One of the reasons that I think students do study abroad quite a bit at Mount Mary is because we make it pretty affordable, and we also have study abroad experiences that coincide with classes. So a student is able to take a class and get that college credit, and also travel at the same time. A lot of the time they'd be traveling with their classmates and with professors. So it's just a really cool, unique opportunity. Many of our students have on-campus jobs, which is a great way to supplement your resume and make extra money and really be involved in the interworkings of our campus. So many students have part-time on-campus jobs, and we do have work study available as well. And then one of the big pillars of Mount Mary is service learning and really just giving back to the community. And so we do have a lot of opportunities for that and for volunteering, which many of our students are aware of and are made aware of throughout the year so they can get involved.
And I know that money is an important topic for everyone. So here at Mount Mary, we make your scholarships very clear for you. This is right on the website. Pretty much all you have to do is take your ACT, your SAT score, your GPA, and go like this. And when they meet, that's roughly about the amount you're going to get in your academic scholarship. We want to make sure that if you are nervous about money, that it's available to you, and that we're here to help you kind of talk about it. So having you have this information right away is really important. We are also now test optional. So even if you just go to your GPA, you'll roughly be able to figure out kind of what that academic scholarship looks like for you. And if you have questions or things looks different, that's what your admissions or counselors are here for. So we are definitely able to have those conversations. In addition to the academic scholarships, we do have a few other ones for you as well. So the Caroline Scholarship covers 100% tuition plus room plus board for all 4 years. Now this is awarded to students who have a GPA of over a 3.5 and have kind of proven to the committee that they are very, very passionate about social justice. You are required to live on campus if you do receive this scholarship, and only 6 people get it total. However, there are, like I said, additional ones. Gray Scholars is for City of Milwaukee residents only, and that need a lot of financial need. So you can apply into this program, interview, and then you'll be able to figure out if that's kind of the route that you're able to take. Madison went over Compass Year. So for the students who are undecided, this is a Compass Year program scholarship. You get $1,000 each year for just being in the Compass program. We want you to really figure out what you want to do in life. So having that year to kind of figure that out, we want to encourage for students. We also do have a trustee award that you actually file through your financial or through your FAFSA, and that priority deadline is December 1. The GRACE scholarship does not necessarily have a deadline, but the sooner the better. That way you do know about the program. And then the Caroline Scholars deadline is the first week in January.
As Kayla said, I think the financial piece of college can definitely sometimes be the most anxiety-inducing or stressful part of college for a family and a student. And so we just wanted to kind of show you a little bit of a cost breakdown of what it really looks like to attend Mount Mary. And so this is an average cost. For students, it was for the 2019-2020 school year. And this just kind of breaks down, what the tuition and fees look like, and then what financial aid or gift aid or scholarships are contributed to that, and what the out-of-pocket cost would look like for a student. As I said, this is an average, so it is above or below for some students, but what we really want to illustrate with showing you these numbers is that Mount Mary University can be affordable for students. I think sometimes when you think about a private college, it seems like, they're just really expensive and it's not going to work for my family. I know I definitely thought that when I was looking at colleges. And so we kind of want to just demystify that a little bit and show you that, it is affordable. It can be affordable to attend a private university. And really, private universities do give a lot of options for scholarships, and there's a little bit more flexibility there. So, I think definitely don't rule out a private university because you're afraid of cost. It's definitely worth it to see what you can get in financial aid and scholarships. So we just want you to keep that in mind. And if you do have other financial aid questions for us, please let us know in the chat. So I did want to talk a little bit about how to apply. And so our application for fall 2021, which seems so far away, but it's kind of around the corner at the same time, our application is open already. So you can go to mtmary.edu/apply to get to the application, and it's completely free to apply. So, I mean, why not, right? What do you have to lose? Once you submit that online application, then we ask you to submit your high school transcript. So this is something that you can ask your school counselor to help you out with. And then also submitting your ACT or SAT scores. So Kayla mentioned that we are test optional now. What this means is that as a student, you have the choice to submit your test scores to Mount Mary as part of your application, but it is not required in order to be admitted to the university. So what I like to tell students is that if you feel that your ACT or SAT score really reflects you as a student and really complements your application, definitely submit it. But of course, you have that choice and you can make that judgment call for yourself. We know that ACT and SAT doesn't always reflect your abilities as a student. So this is kind of our way to just make this part of that optional and give you some freedom to decide. Also too, we know that with COVID-19, some students haven't had the opportunity to take these tests. And so many schools, in addition to Mount Mary, are going test optional this year. And so that's just something to know and keep in mind. So this was a pretty short and sweet, which is great. And we just want to know if you have any questions for us. We are definitely happy to answer those. And we do have our contact information listed here so that if you want to reach out to us privately about anything, or you'd like to schedule a campus tour, you can definitely let us know and get in touch. So it looks like we do have one question. So our question is, if I want to be an OBGYN, what is the best program for me? So great question. For Mount Mary, I would say that the best program would be to enter in as a pre-medical student for that type of concentration. So students that want to be pre-med at Mount Mary, they would do our human biology major with a health sciences concentration, so that they are doing work in biology, which is important and required for medical school. But it does take a health sciences approach, so you do really start to learn some of those health things and get exposure to that. So hopefully I answered that.
And then our second question is about athletics. Here at Mount Mary, we do have a good amount of them, and softball is one of them. So if you're interested in playing softball, you can definitely do that. We also have volleyball, soccer, golf. There's a whole bunch of options.
Yeah, basketball and cross country. I think that's all of them. Yeah, I mean, just to let you guys know, our sports teams, as many are on hold for the fall, but we hope to be back in spring, which will be great for our students.
When it comes to the common application,
So we are on the Common App. The only thing is that on the Common application, I'm not sure if it reflects that we are test optional. So if you do submit a Common App, we will probably just reach out to you to confirm whether you want to submit the ACT or SAT or not.
Gotcha.
All right, so dance programs, I think is the next question. And then also another one about a dance major. So to answer this question, so we do not have a major, a full major in dance, but we do have classes in a department called music and movement. And so the dance classes that you can take would be part of that program. So you could do a minor in that, but we don't have a full dance major. The way that students are involved in dance on our campus is through the Dance Association. So it is a club. We don't have like a formal dance team, but that club really is the place for students who are interested in dance to be involved.
When it comes to getting in contact with the softball coach, our information is at the bottom of the screen. You can shoot either of us an email afterwards or even a text message, and we can make sure that you are in contact with individuals that you need to be in contact with when it comes to that.
Yeah, another thing you can do for athletics is if you go to Mount Mary's website or just our homepage, mtmary.edu, there is a link for athletics to go to their page. And then there's actually a big button on that page that says, recruit me. So if you want to be contacted by a coach, then you can go on to their page and fill out that recruitment information so that they get in touch with you. Okay, so we have another question about one of our programs, which is the Justice degree. So this is a great question because I love talking about this major. So this major is really good for anyone who's interested in the field of corrections or criminal justice. It's also good for someone who wants to be pre-law. So if you're thinking about law school in the future, this would be a great major for you. this degree really looks at the criminal justice system in America, the history, and kind of sociology behind that. So it's definitely a great degree to really get that context and background information about the justice system. And students can also concentrate in criminal justice within this major, especially if they're thinking about going into law enforcement or corrections. So they can really get more of a concentrated education into that through this major. So yeah, it's very cool. Definitely uses a lot of historical information to really teach you about the justice system.
When it comes to the dorms, we do have Caroline Hall. It is not required for you to live on campus, but you can. The dorms are honestly, I think, the coolest things. They have walk-in closets. I don't know if that's important to you, but it's one of the things that everyone gets really, really excited about when they are here on campus and get to kind of view them. There are a few different options. You can live with a roommate. There are also solo options available to you. So if you want to live in the dorms, but you don't want to live with anybody else, we do have some select rooms available for you. There are bathrooms available. There's the cafeteria that's super good, and the food there is delicious. So living on campus is definitely a great way to be a part of the community as well.
Yeah, I think the dorms are kind of unique because the way that Mount Mary's campus is, the outside kind of looks like a castle, which is pretty neat, and the inside has a lot of character. So like all the dorm rooms are a little bit different because they kind of have that old character, but then they have, you know, updated things within the dorm, such as the bathrooms and stuff like that. Yeah. And
there's someone actually that is currently watching that has visited Mount Mary before that just messaged us that the dorms are amazing. So if listen to us, listen to the other people that are in the group.
Thank you. Thanks for telling. Yeah, they're pretty cool. There have been students that also, if they do live on campus for all 4 years, if they really like their dorm, they can actually stay in the same room for the entire time that they are at Mount Mary. So, you know, if you like your roommate, if you like your room, you can actually stay there, which is pretty nice, not having to kind of switch that up every year. So I'll see if there are any other questions that come in, but it looks like we got most answered for now. Anything else that you are thinking about that you'd want to add, Kayla?
Ooh, I think that for students, it's really important to visit campuses. You really want to make sure that that feeling is a good fit for you, that we're a good fit for you. That way you can really grow. So applying earlier to visit and really weighing out your options, I think is key when it comes to the college search process in general. So definitely schedule a virtual visit with us or come on campus. We're taking a lot of precautions when it comes to COVID to make sure that not only we feel safe, but you feel safe. So definitely kind of let us know when you'd like to come because we'd love to have you.
Yeah, absolutely. We are open for visits in a socially distanced way. Like Kayla said, we're definitely putting safety as our first priority. So, you know, we ask that you do wear masks when you come and things like that. So if that's an experience that you feel like is really important to your search process, we are here for you. We'll make it happen in the way that you are most comfortable. So I don't see any other questions coming in, so I think we might have covered it all. We just want to thank you for attending tonight and learning a bit more about Mount Mary, and we hope to talk to you again in the future.
Thanks, Kayla. Thanks, Madison. Nice to see and meet both of you. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Just a couple quick notes to wrap up. You should see my screen now. So once you close out of this window, you should see a survey. It's only 4 questions. Please fill that out for us just so we can have some feedback about how this virtual event, this virtual sessions that you've been attending, how those have been going. Again, there's more sessions available this week, so sign up this week for more sessions if you're interested in learning more about some other colleges or about some different topics to help you apply for college. And then again, this recording and other recordings will be available on the WACAC website within the next week or so. So thanks again for joining. Thanks, Madison. Thanks, Kayla. Have a good night, everybody.